Well, welcome back to Highfield Road, and this is a long overdue update. As you can hear in the background, there is a Class 37 firing up, ready to show. And I've got quite a bit to show you in this update. I've been busy over the last few weeks in the man cave to try and get some sort of update for you, hopefully before Christmas. So let's, without further ado, show you what we've been doing. Wednesday the 11th of August, and you're joining me on update 4 from Highfield Road. As you would have seen at the end of update 3, I had actually progressed quite far on with the platforms. So the platforms are now all completed. Well, I say they're all completed, they're all painted and more or less ready to go. I've added on some little benches. I also showed you the little bicycle racks which I've placed underneath the footbridge as they are at Bradford-on-Avon in real life. Reach over the top of the coaches, there's also some there which I need to add a couple more to. Again, some more benches at the back there and also at the front. So I'm really pleased with the progress of the platform at the moment. I do need to sort out the front, because when you get to Bradford-on-Avon station you literally roll straight onto the platform. So that isn't prototypically correct. So I'm going to see if there's some way that I can raise this level up a little bit. So that's a little project in mind. This evening, what have I been doing? I've added in the baseboard, the final one. So that's been done, or I've constructed it. So I now need to paint that up and get it all moisture resistant and protected, ready for the winter. And should have just added in some little corner pieces here, which were missing. There. And over there. So I've got a little bit of a mess to sort out, as per usual. But yeah, that's the little job I've been doing this evening. So I'll like I said, as always, I'll check in when I've done a bit more. Well, it's Friday the 10th of September. This is a couple of days after, well, the last bit of progress which was done on the cabin really. Apologise for the noise in the background, it's peak time, so everyone's going to and from, coming back from work, should I say. But yeah, as soon as I spin the camera away, it's going to give it away a little bit. Someone's cooking me tea, and yeah, something's happened out of the blue. I had a phone call on Wednesday saying the electrician was in the area and did I want him to come around. So I said, oh yes, I did. So we now have a power point by the back door, which runs across the garden behind the other gardening shed down the back of the garden and into the cabin. And we come into the cabin here. We got ourselves a nice light switch. There we go. So we've now got light. So brilliant. I've now come out here whenever I feel like it, rather than waiting for it not to be raining and running a lead across the garden, because I didn't really want to do that. So I was quite restricted when I could have got in here. It's a bit of a mess, you have to excuse it. I've been fishing recently, so I need to sort some of my fishing stuff out. But yeah, there you go, there's Highfield Road at the moment. Not much has happened on there at the moment. The road bridge still needs painting or decorating, not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Added a few pictures. There's me putting the nameplate on 50021 Rodney, which were purchased by myself and my stepmum Pat to go on the locomotive. I'm still on it today. And me and my dad and my brother and my little nephew from football a fair few years ago, and our team photo in that. So just try and make it feel a bit more of my space. And yeah, got a bit of fishing on the old pad at the moment. And then going back to the cabin, got myself 2 double sockets. So ample supply of electricity now, so I can run my model railway. Got a bit of a creak on the floor coming, as you can probably hear. Wasn't there before, but oh well, never mind. But anyway, just want to quickly show you that I've now got electricity in the cabin. And oh, I'm not sure if I showed you this on the last update actually, but I made a start on the incline. If I did, apologies. But got some wood down there, another sheet of ply to do the next bit. So thanks to my dad for buying me that bit of plywood so I can progress with the next bit, because I was a bit skint. So yeah, thanks Dad if you see this, appreciate it. and we'll be back with you once the incline is in, hopefully, and angled correctly so trains can go up and down it. Oh, there is actually something new. I'm not sure if I did put this on the last update, but I've now put a board in here which I was saying about as well. So that is just so I can fit a full length train down off the incline, around the corner, stop, change the point, and then bring it back around underneath. The reason I've done that is I was thinking, looking at that incline, that by the time it comes all the way around and drops down, it's probably going to come to about the corner before it's at the desired, the desired drop down, even maybe a bit further. So if it's going to drop down there, it still needs to come over a point, and then I still need enough space for a length of a train, like a locomotive and 5 coaches or 6 coaches, or a wagon with a locomotive like 5 to 10 wagons, depending on the size of the wagons. So I thought I need an extra bit of space, so that's what that is there for. So like a head shunt as such. So I can bring them down, stop them there, potentially have a shunter come in, get on the head of the train or the rear of the train, pull it back into the storage. As you can see, the storage is now gone. I've ripped it all up. I think I mentioned that already. But yeah, that's the plan. So we're now on the 23rd of December, and I think the last update was the 10th of August, so there's been a fair gap between the last update, so apologies about that. I'll just run through now what I've been doing in my time, and I'll try and do it from the oldest job to the newest if I can. Not that it really matters, to be honest. You saw on the end of my last update that the Class 20s were running through the station, and I'd finished off painting all the platforms. Well, what I've done now is added on an extension piece as well, which I mentioned that update I needed to do, and that was to allow me to have this building sat on there at the right height. So it was a bit of a bodge job, but it does what its intention is for. So yeah, I've got the extension piece there on the platforms, and they're all painted as well now, so that's good. The new bridge is here. I've been playing around with it. I've been wash painting it, using different styles of texture of brickwork of plastic card to see if I can get something I like. So that's still very much a work in progress. The foot crossing is now in properly, glued down, and I've added some stop signs as well at the end of the platform. I have got a signal coming to go on the end of the platform, like there is at Bradford on Avon in real life. So that should be here hopefully in the next few days. So that will go in round about where the rail freight colour is, the rail freight logo is on the Class 37. Just trying to think what else I've done. 2 new baseboards, covers. So obviously that one was in, so I can't see my finger. So that one was in down here on the Fiddle Yard on the last update. But I've now put that back baseboard in, the bottom one. And I've also added this extension piece for a head shunt, which I'll cover in a moment. So that's a bit more work which has been going on. Someone who's not very good with DIY. This is all very much a learning curve for me, doing it myself. So there have been a few mistakes, but I'm learning on all the way, which is what it's all about, I suppose. I've mentioned the station extension, the incline. So that was the next bit. I've managed now, as you've seen in the footage of the 37, to get the incline in. It is a little bit steep, but it serves its purpose. And I can get diesel locomotives to go up there okay, and also the multiple units. So I'm happy with that. Now in Brafton-on-Avon, normally you would have only seen probably anything ranging from single car to 5 coach trains with a locomotive on going through Brafton-on-Avon, unless it was HSDs on a Sunday diversion and they'd be a bit longer. So with that in mind, what I've done, coming down to the Fiddle Yard, which took me 2 attempts to build, and I did lose a lane unfortunately, I've made the Fiddle Yard long enough to fit 5 coaches and a locomotive, and it fits perfectly. I mean, I couldn't get any more in if I tried. It is bang on. It is really, really good. It's perfect size. So, like I said, I can hold a train with 5 coaches in the Fiddle Yard. They come out, they come over the points, they come around, they go past the point for the incline, and I got myself a little head shunt here. And believe it or not, yeah, you guessed it, that head shunt fits exactly 5 coaches and a locomotive, and the locomotive normally stops round about there, just shy of the points. It's perfect. I mean, if this room was any smaller, it would have been a game changer, but I think I've just about got away with it. All very tight, but it works. And I'm really happy because I'm not sure if some of you guys use RM Web, but I went on there and I asked about the incline, and I mentioned that I've only got a 9x7 room and I wanted to have an incline, about an 8-inch gap between the 2 boards. Is it possible? And I got categorically told, no, you won't do it, it's too steep, unrealistic. Well, it's a model railway. At the end of the day, the incline is just there to serve the purpose to get the train from the lower level to the top level. So I'm not worried if it doesn't look realistic as such, as long as it serves the job to get the trains up to the part where I want to look realistic, if that makes any sense. So I'm really happy I've got that done, because when I read the comments on there about people saying, no, you won't do it, no, it's not possible, not achievable, it's too much, too steep, you won't get your locomotives up there. Well, I've done it, so I'm happy with that. The plan did have to be deviated a little bit, because originally the incline was going to start from here, come all the way up, and then it was going to try and connect on that bit there. But because of the length of it, I've just brought it around just a little bit to give it that extra few feet to climb all the way around, and that's made it work. So like I said it a few times, but yeah, I'm happy with that now, so that's good. So that's the Fiddle Yard in the incline done. What else I've been playing around with? I've been putting some sort of detailing to the platforms. I've added passengers and lighting. I'll put a link in the description for the lights, and they are Bachmann Scenecraft passengers. So I've got a variety of different passengers on the platforms to try and make it look like something's going on. Got a train spotter on the bridge waiting for something to come in, but actually he's probably looking the wrong way, but then I suppose he's looking for something which comes from Bath direction. And yeah, well, the lights are working, which is good. I do need to sort out the lights to go in the buildings yet. That's on my to-do list. I also want to get some bicycles to go on the bike racks, and I'm still not 100% on this bridge, to be honest. I've spray painted it. It looks alright, but yeah, I'm not sure on it yet. I might try something different, but that's going to be way down the road. Let's get other things done first. But I'll just quickly turn the lights off a minute so you can see what it looks like with just the station lights on. So it looks pretty good. The only thing I probably would say is that the tops of the lights, there's a lot of light bleed, so I could probably do with painting those over with some grey paint, and that might just dim it down a little bit and make it look a little bit better. But overall I think that's quite smart, so I'm happy with that. Let's turn the light back on a minute. The layout from a DCC running point of view is fully wired, so I'm happy, everything works as it should. The only thing I need to tidy up now is the points and the point motors, which comes onto. I've got a couple of surface mounts here which I need to power up and get working for the Fiddle Yard, and I also need to put 2 point motors on these points here and on the opposite side as well. Reference the points which I can reach easy, like this one, to go onto the incline. The crossover on the lift up section, and also the other point to go down the incline. They will just be left as they are because I can do that all by hand, and it's quite a small room, so I don't need to be using point motors on those. Coming across to the point motors now. I spent absolutely ages trying to get these bloody things to work. So my dad had about 12 of these up in a box in his railway room, and they come off the very original Dugmer Junction, which was in the loft. So they've got to be pushing 20 years old, if not older than that. I think they might have been on the original Dugmer Junction, if there's such a thing, which was when I was a little boy. So I spent a lot of time testing them all. There were 3 casualties, I think, which didn't work no more. And they've all been wired. They all work on the third hand when I put them on there and put power to them. But when I try and put them underneath points, there's not quite enough oomph to throw the point. So my dad did suggest moving the springs out of the points, but I think maybe I might need a CDU. So I've ordered a CDU from Block Signalling as well. A lot of these Gauge Master seat motors have bars on the back, and some of them are unfortunately bent where they've been chucked around in a box for such a long time. So I'm not sure how good they're going to be, but we'll see if we can make use of some of them. If not, they'll go on eBay for spares and repairs, and see if someone can make use of them. Failing that, worst case scenario, I've also spent a lot of time wiring up some old Pico point motors as well, and they all work. I just need to put the extension kits on them so they can come up through the baseboard, and yeah, they should work alright. But just waiting again for a power source to get them all working. But God, that did take a lot of time wiring up those points and testing them all, making sure they all work, stripping wire, soldering. God, it's all the small things that takes all the time. Cleaning track as well. Wow, should have seen the amount of muck which come off all this track. I try and keep on top of it regularly. So I've been on eBay and bought some Goo Gone. I'm going to try that for a track cleaner. But that methylated spirit isn't bad, but I just want to try something a bit more, so I don't have to go over it 4 or 5 times. I have to go over a couple. Looking down at my list for my update, I think I covered it all. I'll do a little bit of some locos running through the platforms, or the stations, shall I say, before I go. And fingers crossed, I'll hopefully be able to get this update out to you before Christmas. I know there's a Dugmer Junction one on the way. If not, it would be just after. But I hope everyone's looking after themselves and behaving and having fun modelling still. And we'll be sure to catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you soon.